Before the victory, trusting God through the battle, faith, strength, and breakthrough. Introduction. Before every victory, there is a battle, and before every breakthrough, there is a season that tests the depth of faith, the strength of the heart, and the willingness to trust God when nothing makes sense. This is the story of what it means to stand in the middle of the storm and still believe that God is working. Many people celebrate victory, but few understand the pain, the silence, and the waiting that comes before it. This is where faith is not just spoken, but proven. This is where trust is not easy, but necessary. The journey you are about to read is not just a story. It is a reflection of every person who has ever faced fear, doubt, delay, and uncertainty, yet chose to believe God. Anyway, there was a man named Caleb who walked through a season that felt endless. Every day was a battle, and every night was a question, where are you? God, the doors he prayed for remained closed. The answers he sought seemed hidden, and the strength he once had began to fade. Yet deep within him a whisper remained, fear thou not, for I am with thee. These words from Isaiah 41:10 became his anchor, not because his situation changed, but because his perspective did. Caleb began to realize that faith is not about seeing the whole path. It is about trusting the one who leads it. The battle grew stronger. Doubt began to speak louder, saying, you are not enough. You will not make it. This is the end. But then another voice rose, stronger than fear. My grace is sufficient for thee. 2 Corinthians 12:9 became his strength when he felt weak. Instead of running from the battle, Caleb stood still and declared that God's strength would carry him. Days passed and the storm did not immediately stop. But something inside, Caleb changed his fear, turned into faith. His worry turned into worship, and his doubt turned into determination. He remembered the words of Matthew 17:20, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence, and it shall remove. So Caleb spoke not to his problems, but to his God, and not from fear, but from faith. The mountains in his life did not disappear overnight, but they began to shift slowly, quietly, powerfully, because faith does not always move things instantly, but it always moves something. There were moments when Caleb wanted to quit, moments when the silence felt too heavy and the waiting felt too long. But each time he remembered the Lord. He it is that doth go before thee. He will be with thee. He will not fail thee, neither forsake thee. These words from Deuteronomy 31:8 reminded him that even when he could not see God, God was already ahead of him, making a way. Caleb learned that the battle was not sent to break him, but to build him, not to destroy him, but to develop him. Every tear strengthened his spirit, every delay deepened his faith, and every challenge prepared him for the victory ahead. Then, one day, what seemed impossible began to change. Doors opened that were once closed. Peace replaced anxiety, and strength replaced weakness. The breakthrough came not because the battle was easy, but because Caleb refused to let go of God. He fell to his knees, not in defeat, but in gratitude, because he finally understood God was always there through every storm, through every tear, through every silent night. God never left. Conclusion: before the victory, there will always be a battle. And in that battle, you will be tested in ways you never expected, but the truth remains. God is with you, even when you cannot see it, even when you cannot feel it, even when everything around you says, give up. The battle is not the end. It is the beginning of something greater, because victory is not just about winning. It is about becoming stronger, wiser, and closer to God. So when you find yourself in the middle of the storm, remember this God is working. Your breakthrough is coming, and the battle you are facing today is preparing you for the victory that will change everything. Heavenly Father, I come before you with a heart that seeks you. Even in the middle of the battle, when the storm is loud and the path is unclear, I choose to trust you. Lord, you are my strength. When I feel weak, you are my peace. When fear tries to take over, you are my light. When darkness surrounds me, Father, teach me to stand firm in faith, even when I do not see the outcome. Give me the courage to keep walking when everything in me wants to stop. Remind me that you are with me, that you go before me, and that you will never leave me nor forsake me, Lord. In every battle I declare that your grace is enough. Your power is greater, and your plan is perfect. Strengthen my spirit, renew my mind, and fill my heart with unshakable faith. Help me to trust you before the victory. Help me to praise you in the waiting, and help me to believe that what you have promised will come to pass. I surrender every fear, every doubt, and every worry into your hands, knowing